In this video, we will talk about 15 worst foods for diabetics. If you live with diabetes, you know that your diet has to be meticulously monitored. That can be a challenge with so many foods that contain sugar and carbohydrates, but there are also plenty of healthy choices available if you're willing to shop around a bit. Here's a list of some foods that you should avoid if you have diabetes. Packaged fruit juice. Fruit juice is not the same thing as fruit, so don't let the word juice fool you. Fruit juice is high in sugar and calories and can cause spikes in blood glucose levels, which can be dangerous for diabetics. For example, 1 cup of orange juice contains about 21 grams of carbohydrates, sugar, which translates to about 6 teaspoons of sugar. Cookies, cakes and pastries. Cookies, cakes and pastries are basically sugar bombs. They are fattening and high in calories, which will make you gain weight if you consume too many of them. These foods also lack fiber, which means that they don't give you fullness for long, so you tend to eat more than your body needs. Cookies. A single chocolate chip cookie packs up to 150 calories, almost half of what an adult woman should consume on a daily basis. If you have diabetes or are at risk for developing it, it's best to avoid these sugary snacks altogether since they have no nutritional value whatsoever. Cakes. Most cakes contain trans fats, a type of fat created during the process of hydrogenation, artificial sweeteners like high fructose corn syrup, and large amounts of refined carbohydrates such as white flour or sugarcane products, such as table sugar. All these ingredients will cause blood sugar levels to spike after eating them, so people with diabetes must cut down their intake as much as possible. Candies. Sugar is the main culprit in candies. It's so bad for diabetics because it causes a spike in blood sugar levels, which can then result in a crash that could leave you feeling weak and shaky. Candies such as hard candy, jelly beans, lollipops, and mints are all high-sugar foods that should be avoided by diabetics, more so than other sweets like chocolate bars or ice cream because they contain far less fat, which slows down digestion. Buttered popcorn. Buttered popcorn is a high-fat food. It's also a high-calorie food, making it one of the worst foods for diabetics. The high fat content can raise your blood sugar and make you more likely to develop heart disease or stroke, while the high calorie count can cause weight gain. Buttered popcorn is also loaded with sodium, which may raise blood pressure over time if consumed in large quantities. This salt can be especially problematic for those who have had their kidneys removed. They should avoid consuming any food with more than 2 grams of sodium per serving, about half a cup. In addition to being bad news for diabetics' health, buttered popcorn is also full of sugar. A single serving has about 12 grams of sugar, half as much as what's on average consumed by American children each day. Because most people don't need so much sugar in their diets anyway, much less when they are eating unhealthy snacks, this amount easily puts buttered popcorn into the worst foods category. Finally, there are some good things about eating buttered popcorn. It has twice as much calcium as many other snack foods like pretzels or chips do. Dried fruits. Dried fruit is a popular snack for a reason. It's sweet and chewy, with just the right amount of crunch. But it might not be so good for people with diabetes. That's because dried fruits are high in sugar, nearly all fruit is, which can raise your blood glucose levels if you eat too much of it. Some types have more fiber and less sugar than others, but no matter what kind you choose, dried fruits are very high in calories as well. 1 serving can contain as many calories as an entire apple. Most dried fruits have a lot more fat than fresh fruit does. This includes the naturally occurring fats that come from being processed into dried form. While fat isn't necessarily bad for everyone, people with diabetes should keep tabs on how much they're taking in because excess fat has been linked to increased risk of heart disease and other health problems associated with type 2 diabetes. Dried fruits also tend to be higher in sodium than their fresh counterparts. This may not matter much for most people, but could cause issues for those who already have high blood pressure or sodium sensitivity, such as people who take certain medications. Fruit-flavored yogurt. Fruit-flavored yogurt is high in sugar and calories, and can be a sneaky source of fat. If you're buying fruit-flavored yogurt for the healthy-sounding fruits listed on the label, think again. Many brands use dried fruit or artificial sweeteners rather than real pieces of fruit. Some even add corn syrup or other high-sugar ingredients to their products. If you want yogurt with some sweetness but no added sugars, try Greek yogurt instead. It still has its fair share of calories. A cup has about 200, but it's also much lower in fat than regular yogurts, 3 grams per cup. Sweetened iced tea. Avoid sweetened iced tea. It's high in sugar and it can cause weight gain and blood sugar spikes. You might think that drinking a sugary drink is better than eating a sugary snack, but it's actually worse because of how fast your body processes the carbohydrates from liquid sugars compared to solid foods. The caffeine content of sweetened iced tea can also be dangerous for diabetics who are sensitive to caffeine. Breakfast cereal with sugar added. Breakfast cereals are often a source of confusion for people with diabetes. They're marketed as healthy breakfast options, but they actually contain a lot of sugar and carbs, which can be problematic for diabetics. The bottom line is this: if you're going to eat a bowl of cereal, make sure it has no added sugar and fewer than 30 grams of carbs per serving. A good rule of thumb is to choose cereals that have less than 10 ingredients. The more ingredients listed on the nutrition label, the higher your risk for complications like heart disease and high blood pressure later down the road. Soft drinks, sodas, and sports drinks. Soft drinks, sodas, and sports drinks are not good for your health. They're high in sugar and calories, which can cause weight gain. This is especially true of diet soft drinks that have artificial sweeteners. The acidity of these beverages also causes damage to tooth enamel over time, which can lead to cavities or gum disease if not treated properly. These types of drinks are also associated with kidney stones because they contain phosphoric acid, which increases calcium excretion from the body when consumed regularly or in large amounts over time. In addition to being unhealthy for diabetics because they contain sugar and carbohydrates, which raise blood glucose levels, these beverages have been linked with an increased risk of osteoporosis due to their high phosphorus content. Lastly, soft drinks are known to be bad for diabetes patients since they increase your risk for type 2 diabetes by increasing insulin resistance. So stay away from sugary soft drinks. Granola bars, energy bars, and health bars. Granola bars, energy bars, and health bars are not healthy for diabetics. They are high in sugar, fat, sodium, and calories. They contain preservatives such as BHT and BHA that have been linked to cancer in animal studies. The artificial colors used in these foods have been linked to attention deficit disorder, ADD, and hyperactivity in children who consume them regularly. Finally, many of these products contain trans fats which increase LDL cholesterol while lowering HDL cholesterol, the good kind. If you are liking this video so far, please subscribe to our channel so that YouTube can share this video with more amazing people like you. White bread, rolls, bagels, and other baked goods made from refined grains. Refined grains, such as white bread and rolls, bagels, and other baked products made from refined grains, are not good for you. They are high in sugar, calories, and fat but low in fiber, vitamin, and minerals. They have no redeeming quality. Smoothies. Smoothies can be a great way to get in your fruits and veggies, but they can also be high in sugar, calories, and fat. Some smoothie recipes contain large amounts of milk or yogurt that can add a lot of calories and fat into your diet. Smoothies made with fruit juice or regular ice cream also tend to be high in both calories and fat. If you're going to drink smoothies, make sure you choose healthier options like low-fat milk or plain yogurt instead of full-fat varieties, add fresh fruit instead of frozen treats, and avoid added sugars like honey or brown sugar syrup. French fries. French fries are a no-no for diabetics. French fries, or chips as they're often known overseas, are the most common type of fried potato. They're usually made by slicing potatoes and then deep frying them until they become crisp and golden brown. French fries can be served in many ways, but are commonly served with a side of ketchup or mayonnaise dip as well as other condiments such as vinegar, hot sauce, and salt and pepper seasoning mix. Look out for canned fruit that's been packed in heavy syrup or sugar syrup, canned vegetables packed with sodium or high levels of fat, such as bacon bits, pre-made salads containing high amounts of sugar and or sodium, bottled dressings with added sugars, frozen meals full of fat/oils. Fruit canned in syrup or heavy syrup. Eating canned fruit is not a good idea, especially when it's in syrup. Canned fruit is high in sugar and calories, which can lead to weight gain. It's also very high in carbs and sodium. Fruit canned in heavy syrup contains even more sugar than regular canned fruit. Frozen dinners, fast foods, and takeout meals, especially those that are high in fat. They can cause weight gain. For diabetics, this is a dangerous side effect. Extra pounds have been linked to heart disease, cancer, and other health problems. They can cause blood sugar to spike when consumed with other high-carbohydrate foods or beverages. This can result in severe low blood sugar, hypoglycemia, which causes hunger and fatigue as well as nausea and dizziness. Eating too many sugary snacks also can lead to type 2 diabetes over time. If your blood glucose levels are consistently high, you may eventually be diagnosed with type 2 diabetes mellitus. They contain sodium, which increases the risk for heart disease by increasing blood pressure, and cholesterol from animal products such as meat or dairy products, something people following plant-based diets avoid. Other ingredients like refined grains could also increase your risk of developing type 2 diabetes mellitus by interfering with insulin's ability to regulate the amount of glucose in your bloodstream after meals. These foods can make diabetes worse. The following foods are the worst offenders when it comes to diabetes. They can all cause your blood sugar levels to skyrocket, which can lead to serious health problems. A diet high in saturated fat and cholesterol can increase your risk of developing heart disease, a leading cause of death among people with diabetes. Keep your intake of these foods low. Bacon, beef, ground, butter and margarine, cheese, except low-fat varieties, creamed soups and sauces. The best way to manage diabetes is to avoid foods that will make the condition worse. It can be hard to avoid these foods if your diet consists of processed food, but there are plenty of healthy alternatives out there. Try substituting soda with water and other drinks without added sugar like tea or coffee. Also remember that eating fruits and vegetables are good for everyone, even if their main purpose isn't diabetes related. We hope that you now have a better understanding of worst foods for diabetics. Finally, remember that what works for one person may not work for another. Everyone responds differently to different treatments, so keep experimenting until something clicks. Never give up hope on finding what works best for you. We also want to remind everyone that we are not doctors or health professionals. This video is for educational purposes only. If you need any further questions on the uses of diabetics, please consult with a doctor or health professional first. If you know any other effective foods to minimize diabetics, why not share your remedy with us in the comments section down below? If you think this was helpful, please do not forget to like this video and subscribe.